inside, I'm afraid it doesn't work. I'm looking for a partner, someone who gets things fixed. Ask yourself this question, do you want to be rich? I've got the brains, you've got the looks. Let's make lots of get back. I'm alright, Jack. Keep your hands off of my stack. Money, it's a hit.
You've got a. Okay, so Sam
Van Aken.
Van Aken. It's Ben Austin Fad website. Sam, would you like to tell us a bit about your installation piece and how that came about?
Yeah, I started grafting. I got interested in the process of grafting, where you take one plant and can grow it off another. And what I've always thought about is, if we equate the real with the natural, what happens when we affect the natural? So are you constructing reality? Are you turning it into something else? So I started off 2 years ago. I did 1,000 vegetable plants.
Wow, okay.
So I grafted tomatoes to tomatoes, or tomatoes to peppers, eggplants to tomatoes. And from that, the idea of doing trees evolved. And so I started working with trees, and from that, I wanted to grow a tree of 40 fruit. And the idea of 40 was pretty significant, because if you look through a lot of mythology, or you look in the Bible, that's the term for a lot.
Right.
It's almost an infinite number.
Of course.
And so each of the trees in the space has 40 different fruit that grow from it. And they're all stone fruit trees. Okay. So prunes, plums, cherries, nectarines, and apricots. And so if you look at the trees closely, you'll see a few of them have already started to fruit. And so they're growing apricots and they're growing plums.
So is it, the piece will only exist for the duration of the fair, is that correct?
No, they're meant to go outside. You plant them, you can plant them in a yard, and they'll grow. And they'll continue to have 40 fruit.
Okay, and the UV strips, is that a reference to down flaming, or is that part of the growing process?
Oh, that's part of the growing process. The pink and blue lights are the same color spectrum as natural light,
okay.
And it causes the trees to blossom and fruit. So I needed those for having them indoors for an extended period of time.
And tell me, I mean, is the work any kind of direct reference to the environment or the ecological system that we're in, or is that sort of in passing?
It's sort of that's, you know, I look at all my projects as sort of not necessarily as commentary, but putting out something that's a potential that kind of conversation revolves around. So I can't necessarily say, because if you look at genetic modification, you know, it obviously discusses that. I can't be the one to say, well, genetic modification is bad when it feeds millions of people who otherwise wouldn't have food. So but there's also dangers to it too. So I like that conversation that revolves around the project.
And do you have very more ambitious projects in line? What's your next big thing?
Ultimately, it's going to be a tree of 100 fruit. So right now I'm working on a tree that will grow 100 fruit. It's 20 feet tall, and so it'll continue to grow.
And the science behind it, did you study this? I mean, did it as a was it biotechnology? How did you get into this?
I grew up on a farm.
Okay.
And
whereabouts?
so it's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I was always fascinated by it. There's a lot of the farmers in the area would graft trees together, and I remember being just a child, and it was extraordinary. You would see this thing grafted to another tree, and you come back the next year, and you'd see the blossoms, and then the year after you'd see it bear fruit, and so there's a certain that wonderment that sort of led me to start working with it.
And lastly, I mean, obviously the installation at the fair is a bit of a showstopper. I mean, you must be thrilled about that.
Yeah, it's really
it was very important for you in the gallery to do something, make a big statement. Is that right? To do something that was not traditionally within the confines of a booth with two-dimensional work.
Yeah, I think it was important. It was we were. When Ronald Feldman asked me to exhibit it, he's like, "What are you working on?" I said, "Well, this is what I'm working on." So it was more a matter, I think, for him to have it be a current body of work that I was invested in. But then it also, it is important to have something that's that draws some attention.
Great. Well, congratulations again. It's really a standout piece, and
Thank you. I appreciate it.
thank you so much for your time.